Hi everyone, my name is Angela Hart, and I'm a Communication, Culture, and Technology graduate student at Georgetown University. For the last year, I've been working on my thesis project, which examines the ramifications political film adaptations have on a viewing audience. In order to determine the effects that may or may not be occurring, or knowledge that may be gained, I used the film Recount as my case study. Recount depicts the 2000 election, Bush versus Gore, and all the different issues that occurred in Florida. In order to analyze the facts that were portrayed in the film, I also conducted extensive research on the 2000 election itself. One of my favorite books to consult was Howard Gilman's The Votes That Counted: How the Court Decided the 2000 Presidential Election. In his book, he addresses how the court intervened and all the ramifications that occurred because of the Supreme Court's decision. I found The Votes That Counted particularly useful because it addresses all of the different court cases before the momentous Bush versus Gore. The film Recount includes a few of the cases that eventually led to Bush versus Gore, but there are a lot more cases that had effects during the Florida recount process. It's important to note that the film had a few of them and not all of them. I also appreciated the fact that Gilman dove into all of the different cases and ramifications that they had on the recount process. The other books that I consulted about the 2000 election did not dive into the cases as much as The Votes That Counted because they wanted to provide more of an overview of the 2000 recount versus the specific cases that occurred during that process. I appreciated the fact that Gilman went into detail about all of the cases and provided explanations and analysis versus just a general overview. It's really important to understand that Gilman selected this one time frame and all of the cases that occurred within it. And so he addresses very specific cases and their effects on the recount process. And so most of the other literature that addresses the 2000 recount doesn't dive into the court cases in the same manner that he does. He analyzes them, provides details, and so it's very useful to have the specifics, especially if somebody is conducting a project similar to my own, in which every detail about the 2000 election is important. The actual Bush versus Gore case is extremely important to understand, especially because this was the first time the Supreme Court made a notation that their decision would not have a precedent. This was the one and only ruling that they would offer in a scenario like this. The case Bush versus Gore was never to be used again. Gilman addresses how each of the justices reached their own decision and the ramifications that this decision has had to date. If Bush versus Gore is a court case that interests you, I highly recommend this book. If you have any questions about other books I selected for my research, please comment down below or contact me directly. If you like this book, please give the video a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching.